Hi, Heather Valentine here again, wanting to provide you with a few more tips for creating a healthy workspace. So, we went over sitting and standing balance in the first video in this series. And in the second, Janine covered positioning of your monitor and your keyboard in order to keep your upper body in a better position when working. And today I'm going to cover a few stretches that are good to counter all of that computer time or just forward working time. So these are tips that are super easy and helpful to do at home or in the office. So the second one that I'm going to show you today is going to be a little bit trickier to do in the office potentially when we get to that point that folks may be going back into office spaces. However, it's a great one to do at home at the end of every day after you've spent a lot of time on a computer. So, even though we're providing you with tips for creating that healthy workspace, and hopefully you're practicing those and that will get easier, you still have a lot of forward facing time, and it's hard to keep the shoulders, this upper body girdle open. So, the first one is so I'm going to show you on my left arm. Many of you are likely right arm mouse users. So this is really good for your mouse arm. So you're going to find yourself up against a wall, about a foot or so away from the wall. You're going to place your elbow at shoulder height on the wall. So you're at a 90 here. And then your hand is going to turn and face the wall, and it's going to go directly up from your elbow. So you don't want it forward and you don't want it back, but directly vertical from your elbow. So you want to have your feet about hip distance apart. And then from here, depending on how flexible you are in your shoulder, this may be a stretch already. Another thing you want to keep in mind is you don't want the shoulder to be coming up. So you want to pull the shoulder blade down in the back so that you keep a nice space here at the neck. So oftentimes, especially if we're stressed, a lot of times our shoulders start to creep up towards our ears. So we need to really think about activating our latissimus muscles that help to pull our shoulder blades down. So we want to have our shoulder blades down, elbow at shoulder height, lower arm directly vertical from the elbow, hand flat on the wall, and then you're just going to start to rotate your upper body away slightly. So it doesn't take much to feel a stretch through the front of this shoulder, and that's what you're looking for. So we're not looking for a big, huge opening here. You really only need maybe a couple inches to help that area to start to open back up. So this is a great one to do throughout the day. You shouldn't be sitting at your computer for hours and hours on end. Give yourself a break every half hour. Get up, get yourself some water, go to the bathroom, and do a little stretch, do a little movement. So that is the stretch for your mouse arm. You can certainly do it on both sides. You may notice it more in the mouse arm because that's the one that tends to go forward more. So the second one is a little bit more involved in that you need some equipment, that being a foam roller. So you need to get a full-length foam roller. I definitely recommend the more firm foam rollers. They come in different densities. The softer ones just tend to break down really quickly. So you can get these on Amazon for $20 or whatever. If the firm one is too firm for you to start, you can use just a towel, a bath towel, folded in half again, or a blanket, and place that over the roller to give yourself a little bit of padding. And then you can lay down on that. So you are going to sit your bottom at the very end of the foam roller on one end. Scooch all the way to the end. If you can't have your knees this bent, certainly they can be out further. And then you're just going to lay yourself down on the foam roller with it along your spine. So you want to make sure that your hips are on the roller and that your head is on the roller. Even though it seems like it may be great to let the head fall off and get this arch in the neck and lengthening in the neck, you could do that, but separate from this actual stretch. So once you have your hips on the roller and your head, you're going to tilt your pelvis. So if we go back to the seated balance, the pelvis is going to go under. So you'll notice as your pelvis starts to go under, that your lower back becomes more in contact with the roller. So when I do that, I need to scoot down a little bit. So you want to keep your knees bent. You're going to roll the hips up. So the pubic bone is going to go towards the ceiling so that you roll your lower body into contact with the roller. And then you're just going to lay here like this. So the other piece is your chin should be coming back. So this is a great way to counter that head forward position that we tend to get when we spend a lot of time on a computer and we're looking for those little words. So we want to pick the chin. You'll probably have a little double or triple chin going on. That is a good thing. It gives you length in the back of your neck. You want to think about getting the base of your skull onto the foam roller. It probably won't completely touch, but that's a good reference point to keep the chin tucked. So now that you're here, you should feel most of your spine in contact with the foam roller, and you can just hang out here. The hands or the arms just go down by the side and can roll open. So as you roll open, that again opens up the chest. So you can just hang out here, or you can start to slide the arms along the floor to gain more of a stretch into your chest. So the thing to be aware of as you start to slide the arms up is that you don't want your rib cage to now start to lift. So you need to be able to keep the rib cage down and the back of the rib cage in contact with the roller. Keep this and start to take the arms up and take them to a point where you feel a nice stretch across the chest. So another piece to keep in mind as you do that is make sure that the shoulders don't migrate into the ears. So keep the shoulder blades pulled down while you start to lift those arms. And then just hang out here. So you can hang out here for 15 seconds. You can hang out here for a minute. You can hang out here for a little bit longer if you have a song or a meditation that you like to do that's a few minutes long. You could hang out here for that period. It's a great way to reset, and it's certainly a good way to reset your body into a more vertical position after doing funky things to it while you're on your computer, and we often tend to forget about our posture. So in order to get out of this position, you're going to take your arms back down by your side, and rather than lifting yourself up off the foam roller or rolling yourself back up, you're just going to roll yourself off to the side and push the foam roller out from underneath you. And then you're going to lay on the ground for a few seconds before rolling onto your side and bringing yourself back up. So those two stretches are great ways to help open up the chest, reset your body into better vertical alignment. And if you have any questions, please let me know, but I hope you find those helpful.